happening? What's going on? And welcome back to another episode of
the Fish and Chips movie reviews. Wait, hold on. Wait. I don't think we're in the right bodies.
I don't think so either.
Okay, so should we just,
Whoa, wait.
I don't even know what happened.
What just happened, dude?
I don't know. Why don't we just get on with the video?
Okay, then. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Fish and Chips Movie Reviews. I'm Matt Fish Fischioni.
And I'm Sam Chips Cohen.
And welcome back to the one and the only talk show where we talk, review, and recommend movies. Thank you all for joining us for the final episode of the fall semester. Sam, this semester has been a really, really huge one. I mean, it was a really challenging year, but we had so much fun with everyone here. And what should we do for our last episode?
I think, I don't know, but why don't we talk about movies that we thought were the best of 2020?
Okay. If that's okay with you guys, we will do that. And for me, I'll start off first. So, for those who do not know, aside from doing Fish and Chips, I have a separate Instagram account called Fish and Films, and it is where I go in depth about more movies, mostly like independent movies if you're not sure what they are. And along the way, I have created a top 10 list of some of my best movies. But since we are doing our top 3, I think it's necessary for me to bring up some honorable mentions. And with that, my honorable mentions for the best films of 2020 goes out to The Gentleman, The Devil All the Time, Baby Teeth, Swallow, The Invisible Man, Hamilton, and Possessor. So my third favorite movie of this year goes out to The Vast of Night, which is available on Amazon Prime. And it's basically in this kind of like 60s kind of theme where, these two people are set out to figure out some kind of mystery that's happening between their town, where they hear stories on the radio where aliens are going to invade their town. And I gotta say, from the opening shot, it gave me, for those who've seen the Twilight Zone, one of my favorite shows of all time.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
It instantly got me some vibes of that. And throughout the way, with the setting and the characters and everything, it just you could tell it's a really independent movie. It looked really cheap, and obviously, when doing some research on this film, they obviously had a limited time to do this. But, along the way, it was able to work. I loved it personally. And if you are a fan who loves vintage movies, who's interested in sci-fi and aliens, I definitely recommend this one to you. For me, I gave The Vast of Night a 9.5 out of a 10. My second favorite movie of this year goes out to Bad Education, which stars Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney, and it is all about the true story of the biggest public school embezzlement in history. This was obviously a big deal back at the time. So basically, for those who don't know what a embezzlement is for school, it's basically where you take the school money and instead of using it, that could help the school in the future, you use it for your own personal use. And what I found really interesting about this was the writer of the film. He was actually a student during this time, which makes the writing and the screenplay, every interaction feels so real. Especially the performances by Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney. Both worked very, very, very well together. And for me, when I reviewed this movie on Fish and Films, I predicted that they were going to somehow get nominated for a bunch of awards. But obviously, with the movies that we've gotten since that time, that's obviously not going to happen. But for me, I personally love this film really, really much. It's an HBO exclusive film if you guys want to check it out. And, I gave Bad Education a 9.5. And my number one film of 2020 goes out to The Trial of the Chicago 7, which is available on Netflix. And it tells a true story about 4 protesters who took a stand at a Democratic convention in Chicago in the 60s. All I have to say to this is, wow. The star-studded cast in this was absolutely amazing, because when you think about a star-studded cast, you think that you have this one person who might not get the same treatment as anyone else. But what this film was able to do so perfectly is they let every single cast member shine. They were able to have that one moment to truly express themselves, to let the audiences know why they should believe in them, why they should love them, and why they should win this case. And throughout the way, I loved every single one of these characters. I honestly wanted them to win this case so badly. And the performance for me in this movie, hands down, goes to Sacha Baron Cohen. We talked about him being Borat, and we reviewed Borat 2, in a past episode. And for him to take on this really serious and, kind of like the heart of the soul of the pack kind of, character, amazing stuff. There's no doubt that this is going to be nominated for a bunch of awards. Like I said, it's available on Netflix if you haven't got a chance to watch it. And for those reasons, like the 2 other movies I mentioned, I give The Trial of the Chicago 7 a 9.5 out of a 10. By the way, before we go to Sam, I just want to note that this list is subject to change because it is still going on, because we have a bunch of movies that are still projected to be released. So if you are interested to see the updated list, the link to my Fish and Films account will be in the description box below. Sam, take us away. What is your top 3 films of 2020?
So I could say that this year it's been either I watched movies that were from 2020 or mostly that came from 2019, the previous year. Like, I didn't get to see The Joker or Parasite until this year. So if I didn't know any of these 3 movies that I'm going to talk about, I probably would have put those movies in because I kind of would have been breaking the rules, but I really wouldn't have cared. So I think the first thing I want to start off is definitely going to be Onward. It's this whole wild adventure with the voices of Tom Holland and Chris Pratt going on this wild adventure as they find out maybe they don't need their father to do all these tasks. They got each other. And that kind of brings this brother bond, sibling bonding period that makes you kind of feel like, aw, I love you, Sister Chips. And I really loved it. I loved the cast. I loved everything about it. I remember I gave this movie a 9. It still stands. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Borat 2. So, again, I gave this movie an 8.5 to kind of put out again. It still stands. And so what it's all about is about Borat coming back to America. I'd say the most tense time in probably recent history when it came to an election. Because he falls around Trump, Pence, and Giuliani. And he tries to give him his daughter as a gift, I'd say, for great success of Kazakhstan. I was about to say Canada. It was not the right word. And again, it just puts him into all these situations where he kind of puts himself into very risky, controversial situations and still kind of makes it funny. All I can say is that this movie was something that we definitely needed in 2020. So the final movie I had to kind of pick, and it was very hard, but I have to give it to Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
So if I can put to put
Vanel's
out, I
gonna
have
kick
been-
out of this.
I know this is a pretty big one for me, but I'll have to say, I remember back in I think this came out like in 2015, I believe,
Mhm.
or I forgot the year, and I remember this being huge. This Broadway show being the biggest show, like everyone talking about it, everyone trying to go see it. My sister, my family, even myself, I wanted to see it. It was very hard to get tickets. The production value for this show and just everything, the music, the cinematography, the dancing, everything just worked out so well. This was it was so weird and so perfect at the same time, putting rap music with American Revolution
It's
or
crazy.
Hamilton's life. It's perfect.
It all worked out so well, though, which makes it so memorable.
So I have to say, if I were to give this movie a rating, it has to be given a 9.75 from me.
Well, guys, that is all the time we have left. This has been a heck of a year. There have been so many pushbacks, so many delays that is going to be rescheduled in 2021, even in 2022, that is. But that does not stop us from going to the theater and seeing them all, because there's going to be a ton of movies where we are just so excited to see, and we will be right here on Dean News Network to review them all for you guys, because we have a lot of fun doing it and we do it all for you guys. So thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Sister Fish.
And I'm Sam.
And I'm Sister Chips.
And join us for our next episode of the Fish and Chips Movie Reviews.
And Chips movie reviews.
Whoa.
Second.
What is this? What are you doing?
Go!
Fish and Chips Movie Reviews. Fish and
I know the
Okay.
hand motions.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Sister Chips. Wait, do I have to say Sister Chips or can I just say I'm Louisa?
Sister Fish.
Why do I have to say Sister Fish if you're not saying I'm Fish? You're Fish.
I understand that,
So why
but
can't I just say I'm Louisa?
Which hand?
You're right hand.
right here, right,
Go.
not the left, but the right.
Right.
Yeah,
Second.
what do you have? Do you have another right hand? Do you have a middle hand? Fish and
Chips. I am the chips.
Do I have to say this like happily?
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
no,
what's
that's-
up? What's up?
Okay. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Fish
And Chips movie reviews.
Review.
Um,